here we go.
Right. So I'm just going to mute myself
All right,
again.
guys. What's up, everybody? Welcome. Don't adjust your sets once again. It is still Wednesday morning. You're just seeing Unum instead of Gavin. We swapped our pros. We had a lovely challenge, Gavin and myself, against Unum last night, and that's up on the site. But it did not complete, unfortunately, because Bridge Base, for the first time ever during a live broadcast, just completely melted down. But Unum, it melted down after I think it got a little upset because we made a slam and a deal against you last night, and then Bridge Base crashed. So
Yeah.
I think the robots just might have been really upset.
Basically, the story I'm sticking with is you and Gavin broke BBO. So,
I think you
hope we
might be
can live
right,
with that.
actually. It was perfect timing. So we'll try to finish those two boards later. But today, we are joined from people all over the world to watch you and I continue a. I can't remember if Gavin and I won the last instant tournament, but we do pretty well in this one on them. But now we have your expertise on the match point side of things. We'll see if we can continue a streak or
Ooh,
start one of our
pressure's
own.
on.
All right, so here we go, guys. We're going to jump into our instant tournaments. We're going to play match points as usual. And we are on board 1 of 8. Let's dance. All right, so this one we'll start off with. Well, first of all, let's just check in with the audience, make sure we're awake. What do you open in this hand, guys? We know we're opening. We have a solid 14 points. This is kind of always a weird shape to deal with, 4-4-4-1. But what do we open this hand, guys? Let's see where we're at in the chat, and we're going to establish a rule afterwards as well. And as you can see on them, this is a particularly good international event on Wednesday mornings. We do have people from all over the world on Tuesday nights, but it seems like this is truly all over the place,
Well,
basically.
thanks for
Welcome,
tuning
everybody.
in, guys.
And the chat is on fire with the right bid, too. When we are 4-4 in the minors, we always open one diamond. This is regardless of the strength of the suits. This is a pretty good example because the club suit looks so much better than diamonds, but it's all about the numbers here. With 3-3 in the minors, you open one club every single time. And with 4-4, you open one diamond. So that's where we're at here. And we will do that. We'll see what our partner does. All right. Now we have a pretty automatic rebid here of one spade, right?
Yep.
We're showing in this case in the modern game on them. This is kind of cool these days. This one spade bid should be some sort of hand with a little extra shape in 4 spades. If we were super balanced, we would just bid a no trump, even with a 4-card spade suit. This is a nice distinction for people that get a minor 1 heart auction. The difference between a no trump and a spade is pretty big here, right?
Yeah, for sure. And we have choice number 3 coming up.
I know. Now partner bids a no trump. Let's make our calls, folks. What are we doing with this hand? Diamond, a heart. We bid a spade. Perfectly normal so far. Partner clips off a no trump. Make your bid, guys. Krish, that would be an illegal move these days. You cannot open a no trump with this hand. You can open one no trump with a singleton, but it has to be a queen or higher, I believe, on him, or is it a jack or higher? I can't remember. It's one of the.
It's any honor, so
it's any honor. Okay.
yeah.
Stiff 10.
That's not an honor. That's not an honor.
Whoa! Wait a second. We're gonna have to delete that. The 10 is definitely an honor, as far as the play is concerned.
It's an honorary honor.
Yeah, just like an honorary doctorate, basically. Okay, so partner showing a minimum. We don't have a fit. This is a spot where we're just gonna play one no trump from that side of the table, Adam.
For sure. There's really, if you had some extras, you might consider maybe bidding your last
Patterning out,
4-card
right?
suits. But here, your partner is a passed hand. They're pretty much limited to, 10 high card
Right.
points at this point. And the thing about 4x1s is don't let them trick you into thinking your hands are better than they are. Because notoriously, even if you have more high card points, 4x1s mean you don't have a suit to develop.
Right.
So you need full values to get to game.
Yeah, and this is a shape that's particularly difficult to bid in other situations. Luckily, we kind of had an easy run here, and we're just happy to sit back and play a no trump, and we will see what the lead is going to be. Now, recognize, guys, we are playing with East making the lead here, right? The North player is actually playing this one, and it looks like they gave us some time on this hand on them. This is pretty decent. So let's take a moment, count our winners, guys. Come up with where we're at and a reasonable strategy, and then we will pull it off. We kind of got relatively lucky with this lead here, but it looks like we have maybe an issue in one suit on this hand in particular. All right, so first of all, how many winners are we looking at, guys? And what suit do you want to play first after winning this first trick? And Onum, you are a hero, by the way. Today it's like 7 o'clock your time on the West Coast.
Yeah, I'm reporting to you guys from sunny Arizona.
And
It was very bright
she was
outside
live
and very
chatting
early.
on the plane basically while we were playing the challenge. Which honestly, I think you brought a totally new concept into the Tuesday challenge. I think we just need to have the other pro in the chat during those things. It was great because you
It's
know what's
actually
about to
very
happen to
hard.
us.
It was very hard not to say anything.
Yeah, I
I
can
was rooting
imagine.
for the six diamonds all the way, and then
And then we
and then the
made it.
robot said, "Well, you got what you wished for."
Yep. Careful what you wish for. I'll play that king of spades or king of clubs. Yeah, so this is great, guys. We have 5 winners, which is a pretty good number to start with in one no trump. We just need 2 more tricks. And those of you that were in the chat as well, 2 more tricks means we're going to win the spade. We're going to play clubs because we can develop 3 tricks in that suit automatically. And then maybe if they give us a chance, we'll decide whether to mine for extra tricks here. But is there any reason we would want to win this in any certain hand here on them? Or is this just...
I would think that winning in dummy is a good idea.
Dummy meaning our south hand or the north
Or
hand?
sorry,
Yeah.
the south hand. So the reason I would do that is north is declaring.
North
So
is
yeah,
declaring.
we see king queen jack, and maybe West doesn't know who has the ace of spades yet. And
Exactly.
in these one no trump contracts, the worst thing you can do is let them count out your hand before you have your tricks.
Right.
Give them a guess.
Absolutely. And the 3 of spades looks like a 4th best lead, even though it seems maybe it is if they have the 10. But other than that, we get to maybe just say by playing the king, the ace is there, right? So now they have 4 points that are kind of unknown, which is great for us here. And we can play a spade from this hand. And now we're just going to get to the business of setting up clubs, right? So we'll play the king from here. It doesn't really matter necessarily what we're playing here. This just gives us an entry back to the hand. And there they go on them. They found their killer switch. Heart to the queen. Let's hope a spade comes back. No. Okay, a club. We'll take that. So let's take a moment and have the audience count your winners once again. Now recognize we have already taken 1 trick, and we want to count our winners and then come up with a strategy to continue. All right, so what are we at now? And let's just ask this: how many winners do we have now? How many tricks can we take? And is it worth it to pursue other winners? How about that?
All right, we have an answer. 8 tricks in the bank.
Yeah, I think Charles is right too. Charles is saying 7 extras on top of the 1 we've already taken, right? So yeah, great. We took 1 trick. We have 3 clubs. That's 4. We have 3 spades. That's 7. The ace of diamonds is 8 total, including the trick we've already taken. This is an interesting one because we've lost the queen of hearts. We still have at least the ace and king and maybe even more hearts to lose on this hand on them. Is this a spot where we take our black suit winners and then make a decision at the end, or do we want to do something before this?
I would say that playing your black suit winners is a good idea at this point. We're in good shape. They've failed to continue hearts. We don't want to give back what they gave to us.
Yes.
Let's be takers here. And depending on what they pitch, we may or may not take a diamond finesse.
Yeah.
Again, at this point, 8 tricks is still a good deal.
Way more than we started with, and we still have at least bought a little bit of timing with them not continuing hearts at this point. So exactly what we're saying is we're going to take a no risk spot here. We're going to run our black suit winners unless they divide completely unevenly. We're not taking any risk of creating tricks for them, and then we'll just watch what they do. If they pitch a bunch of hearts, we might have the ability to just finesse a diamond safely. If not, we'll make our decision there. So here it's just about taking our tricks. Ooh, okay. So now we see that lefty started with 5 clubs and righty started with 1, and they're pitching a diamond. So it seems like at this point, righty is just looking at a fistful of hearts. That's some extra shape here. All right, so it went diamond, spade, pitch. Pitching a heart here, I guess. Or sorry, we could have pitched a diamond. It doesn't really matter. Spade. Heart pitch was probably really terrible, actually, but they've
I don't
pitched
know.
a
I'm
couple
loving the
hearts.
heart pitch. Let's pitch another heart.
Yeah, let's go for the gusto. Okay, so now diamond,
All right.
diamond. So,
Yeah. Now we've pitched a lot of diamonds, but East has only pitched one heart, and it looks like they started with five.
yep. And West
Um,
has at least West has one good club and may or may not have a heart entry, basically.
right. And yeah, that's the other thing to recognize. West has only one more club, and if the king of diamonds is on side, maybe they just don't have a way to get to East. So
Right. So we're taking a hook.
we're not taking a hook. Let's take it and run.
Just testing us in the morning here. Ah, perfect. It was a hook that was not going to have any reasonable chance of success. And they had all the hearts to our left. Oh, ace, king, queen, four. Okay.
Hearts were 4-4.
Yeah, not too bad. We'll see where we're at after board one. Okay, 25%. Not the worst time, not the worst hand we've started with here. Let's see what happened. I'm looking at the absolute wrong thing here. Looks like
A bunch
maybe,
of people taking a lot of
yeah, a
tricks.
few people making 3 and 4, and then one person just in a ridiculous game here. All right, let's jump on to the next one, see if we can get it again. This is one no trump every day, guys. 15 to 17 balanced. We look at those minor suits. We don't love being open in a suit, but what are we going to do to describe this hand, guys? There's no other bid. This is perfectly
Right.
normal.
It's
Now,
definitely not about where your points are when you open one no trump. It is how many you have and
and
what
your
you're
shape.
shooting.
Yep, and even with a 5 card major, we're perfect. We're in there with this bid because our rebid problems are just weird here, and we get to the normal contract of 4 spades, which is awesome. Anyone worried about that 5 card major, we can assuage all of your fears now. It's over. And the robot lead of the queen of spades is amazing. It's just so great.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. We'll have another of those. So we should expect spades to probably be 3-1 at this point. But take a moment, guys. Tell me how many tricks we're going to take here. How about that? How are we going to do on this? And kind of understand that Autumn is a professional bridge player, but she's not a magician. So how many tricks is Autumn going to take on this hand is the question. And we're in 4 spades. What are we going to take? And is there any way to take more or get rid of anything on this hand? Yeah, there's no way, right? We're gonna take. It looks like we're gonna take 11 tricks unless something weird happens, or we might have some sort of obscure squeeze. But I would say this is an 11 tricker. We're gonna lose a club and a diamond unless something weird or
I mean,
extraordinary happens.
yeah, because even if something good happens in the club suit, like let's say you have king, queen, jack tight, we're still going to have a diamond loser in
Yeah,
dummy. There's really no way to get rid of the jack of diamonds,
yeah.
unfortunately.
So we will draw some trump and play this one very quickly here. In fact, we can probably pretty successfully just claim 11 tricks. I don't think there's any way we're going to be able to manufacture anything that's going to be super helpful. So we will do this. And wow, it looks like we got a pretty good score there for what should have been a relatively average result on them. Take a look, 60%. Some people maybe kind of weird to not make 11 tricks on that, especially if you're in 4 spades. All right, so back at least to some level of respectability percentage wise. We're just below average. Now it goes 1 heart by us, 1 spade, 2 spades by partner, double by East, and let's just make your call, folks. What bid are you making with this hand? 1 heart by you, 1 spade on your left, 2 spades by partner. Make your bid. And just a reminder, the last class of the month of May, at least for live sessions, is this afternoon, guys, 3:30 p.m. Eastern time. It's the full game quiz, which means we're basically going to be asking you questions on every aspect of the game of bridge. It's a very fun and fast-paced event. Autumn,
We're
you would love it.
we're getting some variety
I
in
see.
these answers. We're getting three hearts, we're getting a game bid. Let's see if we can find like a middle ground here.
Well, let's discuss this bid. All right, this two spade bid is a cubit. Right? This is bidding the opponent's suit after we have shown a suit on our side. So that is going to show at least a good 10 points or more. So invitational or better, and at least 3 card support in the heart suit. Right. So partner is actually showing a fit and an invitational raise with their two spade bid. This double is basically, from what the robots are assuming, is just showing a spade support and some sort of a raise here. So nothing really crazy at this point. The question is, what, based on the information you maybe didn't realize what two spades was, what would you do now?
Well, there's a lot of this going around about how it's not worth pushing at pairs. One thing you guys should always keep in mind is just because you make a positive notion, a positive move with your hand, doesn't force partner to bid game. They're always allowed to say, okay, I'm just a limit raise.
Yep.
But you have to look at your hand and always ask, well, do I have more than what I have shown? Because we never show the same hand twice.
Yep.
And, you know, if you have a little bit more than what partner might be expecting, then it's our due diligence to involve partner in these decisions.
And let's talk about what you just said there, on because it's super important. The biggest thing here is that when you have that hand that partner knows you have, meaning we open the bidding with like a ho-hum 12 count, and that's all we have. Partner knows this already, right? So what Autumn is saying, don't show the same hand twice, is exactly the way we want to think about it. Partner knows the hand that we've shown. If we have just that, we don't go any further. I would say on this hand, on them, we have more, especially considering where our shortness is.
Right.
It just looks amazing as far as where we find ourselves at this point.
If partner has 10 points and, you know, they're not in spades, we're in good shape to take a lot of tricks.
Yep.
But we don't have any guarantee that that's the case. And we don't have a hand that just knows, like in your bones, you're going to take 10 tricks. So we don't need to gamble either.
So you're on the 3 heart side of this. You don't want a big game?
I didn't say I want to
okay.
bid 3 hearts. 3 hearts is like saying I'm just, you know, bidding 3 hearts is what I think I can make. I think I have some kind of 3.5 bid going on
which
here.
would be what? Let's ask the audience. Actually, this is kind of fun because they've seen this before. What is a way that we can show a 3.5 heart bid on this sort of auction? We might get a couple answers here. There's one bid that I didn't even think about until just now that might show something as well. But let's see what the crowd wants to do.
So, I mean, there's also something going around in the chat about how a free bid of 3 hearts over the double shows something extra.
I would say it's the exact opposite.
Well, this is partnership agreement. Some people play that returning to the level that you're forced to is your bare minimum.
Is your worst.
So a direct 3 heart bid would show the worst hand.
Yep.
Some people play pass as the worst hand. So this is all partnership agreement. But let's focus on showing the right kind of hand. So I think even if you play 3 hearts shows extras, that still might not be your most descriptive bid.
Yeah.
You're not telling partner anything helpful other than you might have, you know, a couple points extra. But here, you know, you have a stiff spade. You're very happy if partner can cover or help your club suit.
Sure.
So maybe we want to make like a descriptive game try here.
And that would be 3 diamonds, I'm guessing.
I would bid 3 clubs.
Yep.
I want to know if partner has like the queen jack of clubs, the ace of clubs, you know,
and just recognize for us, especially on this auction as it's constructed so far, I'm pretty sure the robots play a normalish type agreement here where 3 hearts would be kind of their minimum, right? So if that's our minimum, right? We have other ways to show an extra value hand, and this is one of them. And I was just going to say the robots aren't terribly good at this bid, but they did jump the game for one of the few times that I've seen. And now it goes 4 spades on our right. And now we're in, honestly, another reasonably difficult situation. Let's ask the audience, and then let's ask you on them, because I'm not making this decision today. What are we doing now, guys? Weird auction, right? The robots are getting a little salty after their crashing last night. So we have to check this out.
They're making up for it. And just so you know, guys, notoriously, I'm very bad at playing with robots. I don't understand their
you're
functionality.
pre you're pre-alerting the audience.
Um,
So
so
this
let's talk about the difference between pass and what else, what your other options are. Like, why are we passing? What's the logic behind our concept of pass here?
yeah. Well, I think pass is probably the bid I would think least about at this point, right? I would probably be thinking either bidding or doubling with this hand.
Well, can we hover over pass? Does it say we're in a force? That might
No,
change what we do.
it says doesn't really say anything specifically. Kind of says exactly what we've already shown. Pass at least. Double
So
would just be unknown, basically. Double might produce a bid by partner sometimes here. That's the problem with the robots.
yeah, playing with a robot, I don't know what the best bid is actually.
A double might get us the best because they'll pull if it's a bad double sometimes. So I think I don't know. I think in my spot here, I think pass is the worst of our choices, but that's just maybe a feel spot here. But it's certainly. I'm just wondering how they double and then bid four spades. Like it seems weird that if they
I
were
mean,
playing,
I'm leaning towards the double side with the side ace king
yeah,
and
yeah,
bad hearts and only five hearts.
yeah. I'm in.
And you know, our opponents are bidding vulnerable. I don't know why they would elect to double two spades instead of start with three hearts. This
Yeah,
also
that's
is very
or
weird
three
to
spades
me.
or four spades, right? It seems like a weird choice that they've made here, but
I mean, it feels like maybe they have more than three spades.
yeah.
Um,
Well, let's rip and see if partner like
yeah.
decides to do anything. And okay, so we rip. We're gonna leave the ace of diamond. Oh, sorry, partner's on lead. Okay, so maybe not, maybe not gonna be the best for us. But what? I mean, come on, they double with this hand without making another call. It's not really a
Yeah,
bad
it
spot.
felt like they had a bad hand with a bunch of spades, just
Yeah.
based on what they did.
All right, we're just
Good old partner cashing some aces.
gonna sit back and hope we can take a couple diamonds. It's not looking the best. Although I will say the robots are pretty decent about pulling bad doubles. So maybe they. This is bad for us. How many clubs does he have on him? Oh, I did not mean to do that. I misclicked the Queen of Hearts on him. I'm
Okay.
so sorry. I did it, guys. Don't tell Mr. Wolpert. I just went minus 790 when we could have gone plus 200 on him. All right. So yeah, that's a zero.
Well,
We're gonna forget about that. What was plus 200? Plus 200 was going to get us 60. So that was a 60% misclick right there. We're going to have to make up for that on him. And honestly, you're going to have to do it. I've clearly proven that this is a bad day for me already.
I'm actually not sure why this robot started with the ace of hearts instead of clubs
It looks
on
like
that.
we do pretty darn well in hearts, but that's because we're getting pretty friendly spots here in all the suits, basically Queen of Clubs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's see here.
All right. Back on the horse. We'll try to do our best. Thanks, Kathleen. We'll try to go slower. It's more of a finger thing here. So let's take a look at this hand. This is 19.
I like Philip. He wants me to steal the mouse.
Everybody wants the mouse away from Rob. It's a bad thing. This is a spot where we're just going to open a club. There's no reason to stretch, even with this terrible result we've had. We open a club, it goes past a spade, and now let's make our call with the audience, guys. What are we doing here? One club, pass one spade. Make your bid, folks.
A lot of salt in this audience
I
today.
know, man. They're all over me. No super chats for me today on them. I didn't earn it. All right.
So before we like get to what we're going to do, there are two no trump options in this chat, or three now. Um, One thing about rebidding no trump, it doesn't matter at what level or how strong you are. Take this to the bank. If you don't raise partners 4 card known major, they will subsequently never play you to have 4 cards in the suit.
Yep.
So one no trump, two no trump, three no trump, all of these are out when you have a known fit for partners major.
And here's what happens in your mind, guys, because I know I see it all the time. It goes, you see this hand, you're dealt this hand, you look at it, and your mind says, I'm going to open a club and I'm going to rebid 2-no. I'm going to open a club, I'm going to rebid 2-no. You got it in your head. And then it goes a club, a spade, and you rebid 2-no, right? Because that's what you were already set on that bid. But here you have to recognize that what Unum said is absolutely 100% true in every situation. When you do not raise partners major, you do not have a fit, right? So we must raise spades. Now the question becomes on them: is it 3 or is it 4 with this hand? It's definitely not 2 spades, guys. Our hand is definitely
right.
way too good for
So
that.
we can talk about this all together actually. Now it's all about telling partner your range, right? Once you've opened the bidding and at your second turn, you sort of tell partners something about your range. When you open the bidding, your range is like 11 to 21 at the one level. So if you simply bid something at the 2 level, like raising partners major, this is like 11 to 13 high card points, maybe 14 high card points. The 3 level is invitational, 15 to 17, 15 to a bad 18. The 4 level is like, okay, we got game.
Yep. And that's we don't love the Queen Jack of Hearts here, but we have a 19 count with
Yeah.
with shortness in that suit. That's what we're communicating here. So many people think that this bid is a closeout and it shows a bad hand, and that is not what's happening here. Let me show you guys the auction that is. That is when it goes 1 spade, 4 spades, right? In this case, when we've already opened the bidding and then we bid a game, we are showing enough to play game opposite 6 points. David, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate it, buddy. And now we just bid 4 spades. And okay, this is great. So I don't love this because they're a past hand, but let's just talk about when this happens. So many people say, when you bid 4 spades, what happens when partner has a good hand? This is what happens, guys. This is what happens. They know you've shown at least 19. So they're going to have a spot where they're looking at their hand saying, okay, well, if my partner has this big of a hand, I know we need to continue. And now we will answer, and we'll answer in the robot speak, right? The robots play 0, 3, 1, 4. They kind of flip flop the first 2 responses to key card. So we need to show 3 key cards, the 3 aces.
Bye, David. Have a good round.
Thank you, David. Good luck. Hit him straight. And partner just jumps to 6 spades, and we will hope we can make this one on them.
I mean, I'm feeling pretty bad.
Whoa, what's up with this lead?
Okay.
The robot is super generous today, and this is going to be kind of a fun hand, it looks like. Well, let's ask the audience. Are we going to make this, guys? Are we going to make 6 spades on this lead? How about that? Will we make this? Alina has a very good answer there. Sure, you're gonna maybe not, and maybe. Yeah, I would say when we see this, we are definitely going to make at least 6 and maybe a grand slam if the King of Hearts is on side, right? This spade lead is just so awesome because it takes away any like guess that we're super worried about. Now, when we see this hand before the lead, we don't love this slam, or at least I guess we don't hate it. It's 1 of 2 finesses on him, so it's a pretty decent one. But
yeah, we're in definitely good shape for 7 at this point.
Yeah, this looks pretty darn good. All right, so we'll draw a couple rounds of Trump, and honestly, we can just put the queen on there. Are they blowing me up in the chat still? Okay, we can claim now, and I'm just going to show you guys why. We're going to play the ace of clubs. We're going to pitch a heart, and now we do not have to take any heart finesse again. We play heart to the ace. We can rough that last heart, and now the rest are just golden. Right. 13 tricks. All right.
Yeah, the robot broke a big cardinal rule of key card. You don't key
Let's
card
look
with
at that.
void.
Yeah.
But I think
Well,
the
let's see
limited.
what Krish is talking about here. This is such a weird hand because they did key card with this void. They could have been 5 clubs, right, over 4 spades to kind
Yeah,
of start this conversation.
exactly.
But they really took the bull by the horns here on them. They have a 7 count with a heck of a lot of spades, so they decided that way. But yeah, 4-0 trump with a void would be weird. What happens if we give them 2? Right? How do they know what's right? Or in this case, we did give them 3. They don't know what they don't really know a ton about our hand either.
They're just never going to know what to do. If they bid key card, they got lucky with the response we gave them.
Yeah.
But we wouldn't advocate bidding like this at home.
No way. Not especially not with that void. But we'll take 85% after the obligatory Rob misclick, and we will start this once again. Being dealt some good hands, but now we see, are we gonna get to play a club here? No. Okay. Let's ask the audience on this one. What are you gonna do, guys? You opened a club, your partner passed you, and then right hand opponent balanced with a double. What call are we making here? Thanks, Barry. Just look at this chat. Barry Ross. I'm not sure who you are, but man,
I feel like I've made a fan in
you're
this
grinding
audience.
on me today,
Don't
Barry.
don't pick on my fans.
You already have fans, and I apparently now have haters. So this is just terrible for me.
Well, you're saying now like it's a new story. This might be
At
old
least
news.
Gavin once in a while can contribute a good mistake also.
Okay, lots of good answers here.
Yeah, so we get to maybe show our values here to partner if it's going to be helpful. I mean, we have lots of ways we can go about it. What would you choose to do here, Anna?
So let's just talk about what 1-0 trump here shows. It does show 18 to 19 balance. But is that the best bid with this hand? I personally think that redouble might be a little bit better if partner happens to bid like a major at the 1 level or something. You just get more information when you redouble. But 1-0 trump is a very typical bid at this point with this hand.
Yeah, and it's kind of the same as 1 banana something 2 now, right? And it's the reason is when are we going to be bidding a no trump knowing partner has less than 6 points? Right? When is this going to be reasonable for us to stick our neck out here and here? It's clearly because we have extra values. And now maybe we get to play a no trump.
Rob, we wanted to redouble. You're just distracted by this chat.
I am totally distracted by the chat.
Like the whole point of redouble here would have been.
I left off chatting and I heard you say, let's bid a no trump. So that's what we did. And we're going to have to stick with it. I'm sorry. But not too bad, right? Not the worst, not the best. Redouble probably would have gotten us to maybe some clubs, I guess, which isn't that like spectacular either. All right, so let's dance here. Let's see if we can get them to play an honor here. There is the honor, the 10, unfortunately.
The honorary honor.
And this really isn't that terrible, to be honest. Right? We actually have how many winners, guys? Let's start that off. And where do we maybe have designs to create extra tricks? Right, take a moment, guys. Yeah, it's kind of interesting. We have 6 right off the top. We certainly can't be ripping off all 6 of these tricks, but we might be able to sneak a 7th trick in before the opponents can crush us, because they're not necessarily sure where our strength is, right? We have ace, king, queen, 4th of spades, but no one knows this just yet. So maybe we can get lucky here on them. What are we doing at trick 1 here? Are we gonna duck for not maybe a switch that could be good or bad for us, or are we just gonna play the ace?
So one thing to consider on this hand is like we're kind of thinking the diamonds are 4-4 after the 2 of diamonds lead.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's in the game to even just win the ace of diamonds and like play your spades and exit a diamond, hoping that they solve some clubs for you or
Yeah.
pitch off a heart or two. Um,
And then
because
if we get lucky with the heart and diamond position, maybe
right,
we get an
right.
extra equity swing.
See, the danger with like winning and playing ace of clubs and a club is it doesn't guarantee you're going to get the club situation right. We're developing a club loser, and now they're going to cash at least three diamonds and
And maybe
their
three or
hearts.
four hearts, right?
So I would be very against ducking and just playing ace of clubs in a club. That seems like a disaster to me.
I'm with you there for sure. And I like the idea of maybe just throwing them in at some point and just having
Right.
them have
And
to
that's
solve these
that's why we
spots.
wouldn't want to duck here.
Yeah.
Two reasons. Ducking won't block the suit. We cannot duck enough times.
Right. We
And
only
we're
have one
taking away
position.
a crucial exit card. So,
Yeah. I like
and
it.
maybe if you don't duck, they think you have length.
Right.
Like,
And
we didn't tell them anything about our hand.
honestly, we're really hoping on this line. And are we gonna cash the spades? I don't mind that at all. Like because now we just take away that exit and now we just throw them in
Yeah,
a red suit.
I want to cash our winners and then play a loser, hoping something good happens
I
in the
love it.
club.
Yeah, maybe you can make us look like a hero on this one, Anna. All right, here we go. Let's take a look at the position here. We don't mind seeing that. I mean, it bodes well for the other pieces of shape. Pitching a club on our left.
Okay, so
I don't mind pitching a club here.
I would pitch a heart.
Okay. And now a diamond.
And now a diamond.
Let's see what happens. Right. Another. Ooh, bingo. I'm sorry I pitched a club now. We'll take a plus score though. I mean, who's predicting that lead? Looks like the heart play they just couldn't come up to. So let's see if we did okay. Plus score. I mean, who knows? Looks like it wasn't too bad. 75.
Yeah, I think if we had redoubled, we would have landed in either
Let's see
probably.
if let's see if anybody did. Yeah, that's exactly what we thought. If we redouble, we get to play two clubs, and it looks like we lose three hearts,
A diamond and a
club,
club.
and a diamond.
But you have to guess the clubs
Yeah,
again.
yeah, right.
Guessing clubs was crucial.
Exactly, exactly. Okay, we'll take it. Not too bad. Plus 90, pretty good. Rob's gonna be more attentive and not look at the chat anymore. I'm gonna hide that. So much negativity there today.
I'll be the multitasker here. You focus on them.
All right, guys, make your bed. One club to you. You're sitting south. You've had only one disaster so far, and it was of Rob's creation. So here you go. A club to you. Make your bid. Yeah, I like when you have a doubleton and you're thinking of ducking. And the first trick, it's usually not that productive, right? And it can kind of serve to create problems for you. So there, spots like that is not as important, I think. And yeah, this looks like the chat has the perfect bid, right? This is not necessarily what a double will look like in heaven, but it's pretty close. Right? We have an opening hand, we have shortness in their suit. We have three cards in all the unbid suits, and we're 4-3 in the majors. That is our bid. And now let's run it back. Partner bids a spade after our left-hand opponent bids a heart, and now it goes two hearts to our right. Make your bid. Here we know the opponents have an 8-card heart fit because the opponents play support doubles. So there's at least 4 hearts on both sides of the table there. Make your bid. You doubled first, and now you're back in the decision seat. What are we doing? I see some new names in the chat today, by the way, and I'd like to welcome all of you. Definitely all the familiar names we see as usual, but welcome if this is your first time attending live. We're happy to have you here.
Newcomers always welcome.
And recognize Autumn is not the usual Wednesday morning pro. She's our Tuesday night challenge, but we flopped our pros this week, and I'm interested to see if we beat you on them. We still have 2 boards to play in that one.
Oh, is it still viable?
Yeah. I think Gavin and I will play it later on and post it. So guys, be on the lookout for that. Try to get that victory. And I don't know. I think we're ahead.
You're definitely up by 17 at this point.
All right. So are we bidding here on them? And first of all, let's see what the robot would take a bid as. So here it would take it as probably a little bit better than our garden variety double. It is not a power double situation, right? Because partner did not make a minimum response, right? They could have passed one heart and they did not. So at least the robot has that part of it, right? Are you a bidder
Yeah,
here?
this is a good situation to bring up. This situation is different than if you had doubled and your partner had been forced to bid one spade.
Yeah,
I
let's
would
take away
never
this
raise
one heart bid actually and just kind of exit out and pretend it's a pass, right?
right. So if it had gone past a spade, pass, and now you bid two spades, this should show extras in some form.
Yeah.
Here, your partner didn't have to bid one spade, so I think we're pretty comfortable in like showcasing our at least 8 card fit. And I
And
mean,
our
honestly,
defense goes down on the idea of having a spade fiddles. Right? We know we're
I would probably raise to two spades even without the queen of spades, which is like a bare minimum
yeah,
takeout double, just because of how the auction is shaping out.
right.
On this hand, partner can't compete effectively unless they know that you have a spade fit.
And that's the real crucial thing. Partner's also looking at relative heart shortness, right? They have 2 hearts maximum on this hand. So here they can't know for sure that we have a spade fit, but here it's not going to. Okay, so our 2 spade bid produced a competitive bid by partner after 4 hearts, and we'll see if we. Okay. All right, make your bid, guys. Your call. This has been a spirited morning of hands on them. This is kind of crazy, but we have now found ourselves at the 5 level once again with the decision, and my hand is no mouse touching at all. I want to hear what the audience will do as well as yourself on them. So we've gone all the way to 4 spades, and our lefty has just insisted after partner made uh, the raise is the opening bidder. They insisted on hearts at the 5 level. So what do we expect partner to have in hearts on this auction? First of all, that's one kind of nice piece of information that we should look at.
Um, Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if partner had like only one heart.
Yeah, I mean that seems
And 5 spades, but it's sort of weird that they just bid one spade. So they didn't just make a preemptive bid, which I'm not sure that the robots are able to do.
it's so funny. We had this last night in the live cast. We talked about this specific situation. What would 2 spades be? And for the robot, it's constructive.
Okay, so they
It's
couldn't
weird.
preempt,
Yeah,
which
right.
is bad for our inference. If we had the inference that the robot could just preempt with 5 spades and not a good hand, we wouldn't play them for any defense. And now taking a sacrifice at these colors seems very favorable,
Right.
opposite one heart, and you have the doubleton club, and you're just totally pure in 2 suits. But we don't have that inference. They could have some defense, and our opponents are at the 5 level. So I'm gonna take like a middle of the road action. I'm just gonna pass. If we beat it, that's going to be a good score.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you on that. And there's so much. There's so little information to be had on this
Right.
particular hand. And here we're super happy, right? I mean, doubling what it looks like it would have been a total disaster here. So they're roughing the first spade. Looks like they're going to draw trump and set up some clubs. Ace of diamonds on them.
I would do that. Yep.
And now what? I mean, this looks like it's not really happening for us. Just a hard here.
I would play a diamond actually.
Yeah, maybe we get a little bit of
Or I mean, partner doesn't have short diamonds at all, so they didn't lead it. They didn't do anything weird, but
heart to the 10. Okay.
this robot led the low diamond from king 10 forward. I can't even.
There we go. All right, that looks like 12 rippers for the East-West players. What a hand.
Sorry, guys, we could have held it to 11 with how the robot.
Well, let's take a peek there. Do we have any play possibilities on this? Partner only. I'm looking at the wrong hand. That's why. We lose a heart, a couple of clubs. I guess we have a reasonable sack here, eh?
Well, the 0-4 spade situation is actually very dicey
It
because
is.
club, 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 you have to rough high, and now we're promoting two trump tricks. So
Look at this. If we duck the diamond, that's the key.
then we hold it to 11. But
Yeah,
that the robot was absurd in playing a diamond.
I agree.
So
It was very bizarre. All right, guys, here's our hand. We're gonna open a spade with this hand. Shapely 5-4 in the majors. Ooh, okay. Similar situation to what we saw earlier. We open a spade. Partner checks us right out, and it goes two clubs on our right. Let's make our call again with this one, guys. One spade by you, two passes. They balance with two clubs. Similar theme today as partners just disappointing us at every turn on them. And we won't talk about my disappointing partner at least once or twice.
we have an X, a pass, two hearts.
Double would be lots more than this, right? Double is like the redouble would have been on that last hand, right? It would be more robust than what we're looking at.
So let's go over what we know. Partner passed one spade.
Yep.
They do not have a response for the one level. So before you guys get too excited and try and bid out your shape, remember, we're working with a really bad hand over there.
That partner has very little. And the question is, what, if anything, are we going to do after they balance with two clubs?
So yeah, we have like a hand where if partner had bid one no trump, we would bid two hearts, but
Absolutely.
partner passed, and our hearts are bad. We have 15 points, but queen third of clubs is defensive. Stiff king of diamonds is a disaster.
Yeah. Especially when partner doesn't have an ace, likely, right? So stiff king is just that bad. I'm okay passing. The only other thing I would consider is two spades. Like I don't want to bid a new suit here, but although I guess if I'm gonna bid two spades, I could try two hearts. But
I would consider no other bid than pass.
All right, good enough. And now maybe okay. I was gonna say now maybe we back into defending hearts, but no go. All right, this is gonna be the easiest lead of our life here. Ace of spades. All right. So partner plays the deuce. I don't know what we can intuit from partner signals here, but you would expect the only card we can't see on him is the 10.
Mm-hmm.
You would expect partner to probably show that card if they had it here, wouldn't you?
I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, you think they would want to protect that card? I mean, what can we do anything here is the question. Is there a play that can be made that can kind of cover some bases?
I mean, the other thing is, even if partner has the stiff spade, like your spade's not going anywhere. Where are they going to dump it? The player would have to have a stiff heart.
And meaning they have a stiff heart and two spades on this auction.
I mean, I think your best bet on something like this is maybe to shift to the king of diamonds.
Yeah, maybe develop a rough.
Develop a rough or develop partner's queen of diamonds.
Yeah, the king of diamonds is getting played this way any way they play it, right? There's no way we're surviving.
Maybe the player has a stiff heart. Oh no!
They did.
But we developed part. Why are we? What did we?
I just sorry. Don't worry about that. All right. I don't think it made any difference there, thank goodness, but I'm sure it possibly could have. Maybe it did. That jack of diamonds looks pretty bad.
We're just ignoring Rob for this whole board.
Yeah, sorry guys. That was another just misclick because I'm actually here, but not the worst. I don't know if that really we traded there. I think on him. That was a trade, so it didn't cost us. I don't think, or I think they can find their way to get past that. So not the worst. I guess we can hold it to 3. Okay, all right. I didn't need to look at that result. Make your bid, guys. One diamond, pass one no trump. This is your call. This is my worst Wednesday morning tournament on him. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I guess I bring it out in you.
It's the early morning after such an exciting evening in the challenge.
Are you really going to talk to me about early mornings?
Yeah, you're still on East Coast time, Adam. what are we doing with this hand, guys? One diamond, pass, one no trump. Another very similar hand to what we've seen, bid differently. And what I mean by that is, what's partner looking at on this hand, guys? What do we expect partner to be having? Not that this is going to change our decision, but just be mindful of what we know so far. What's doing on this hand, guys?
It looks like we have some options in the chat.
This is a really interesting one because this is a hand you wouldn't necessarily be considering double too often with. However, this is one of these times where you might be doubling with a 5 card major for lack of.
One spade would be an insufficient.
We bet 2 spades, Barry, I think, but yeah, on the wavelength there. 2 spades is it, to be honest,
It's
when you see this, you're usually dialed into bidding spades, right? You don't want to hide a 5 card major by doubling, but we do have pretty much a double as far as like we would like to see it as far as shape, and the values here are pretty decent on them, even though we should know partner has very little.
Yeah, there's a lot going on here. There's a lot to consider.
Yeah.
If we double, it is not necessary we lose our 5-3 fit. And also, if we double and find the 4-4 or potentially 5-4 heart fit, because again, partner doesn't have a good hand, they might not necessarily overcall with these kind of hands. Like a lot of good things happen when we double with these flexible hands. One thing that no one has considered is we might have a big club fit also. Like,
Sure.
you know, we have 0 diamonds. I don't know.
Yeah, well, I mean, if lefty has like 4-4 and the majors and like a reasonable diamond suit, partner just might have a whole bunch of clubs, and that's our best.
Yeah, West could be 4-4-3-2. Like a whole bunch of things could be happening
So
here.
I think we are going to double, right? We're in that.
Gonna double, and
but let's draw a line here. This is if we take, let's say we take a heart away, we would bid spades, right? We don't double and with a 5 card major unless it's a situation where our double is so much more descriptive than the bid of that major would be.
Right. It would have to be a double in bid or, you know,
right.
a flexible hand.
Right. So we will do that, and partner will bid some hearts. And now let's send it back to the audience for their last bid of the morning. We think this is your last chance to excel, guys. What do you do after you double originally? Partner bids 2 hearts, and recognize this time partner bid 2 hearts because they were forced to bid 2 hearts, right? They could not have passed. What do we do here, guys? It's kind of just an interesting hand to end with because we're in kind of a weird spot where our hand improved based on what partner did here, even though it was already pretty good. We know partner has a bad hand in general, just based on the information we've seen. Are you taking another call on him?
So the only reason I would consider not taking another call is it's match points, and you know, maybe we don't have 9 tricks. I think it's a little bit unlikely that we don't. But the only negative thing I can think of is we are taking roughs with the king 4th of hearts hand.
Right.
So that could be a little dangerous. But alternatively, you can make game opposite queen jack 5th of hearts and
nothing, right? And something in clubs.
Right. Just
king of clubs, queen jack 5th,
or king of clubs, anything. I just think you have too much to lose by passing.
We're not going to bid game either. Obviously, we're not in a spot like that. We're already going to be showing lots of extra values by bidding, and let's just check. Right, we have 16 high card points and a void and a suit the opponents have bid. I certainly think it's worthy of kind of showing this sort of power and at least bringing partner into the decision making part of this. And okay, not surprising they pass, so we're going to be looking at probably a pretty bad hand over there. And okay, wow, tons of play here. Let's take a moment. We clearly are in maybe the wrong spot because we have a 9 card spade.
Note that the robot did not make its best bid. They should have bid 2 diamonds, the opened minor, which should show both majors. And you know, they probably don't have a particularly good hand on auctions like this, but that's
the key thing to understand, that only because of the auction they find themselves in, their hand is restricted
And
But
then we would have gotten to our best fit that way.
yeah.
But that being said, we're not in the worst shape ever.
No, I mean, partners club shortness is spectacular here, right?
Mhm.
This is kind of what we want to see. But let's take a moment. I think we can win the ace of spades first. Let's do that.
It's a good start.
And then let's ask the audience, or at least take a moment, guys, get your line down, count your losers, and make some plays here. Jack of spades suggests, shortness we would expect, doubleton or singleton. Not surprising considering we have 9 spades that we can see. Luckily, we're only in 3 on them. All right.
Well, so there's some action about roughing clubs, ace of clubs. Let's just count how many potential tricks we have on a cross rough before we commit to a line. So ace of clubs is 1, rough the second club is 2, rough a diamond is 3, rough a club is 4, rough a diamond is 5, and we have one more club to contend with. And that doesn't bring us to 9 tricks.
No, and also,
And it also assumes that all of the roughs live.
yeah, exactly.
So even though it might seem like a cross rough hand, we are not going to come to the requisite tricks we need for the cross rough.
And what Autumn is talking about, guys, is just legitimately cashing the ace of clubs and then roughing clubs, roughing diamonds, roughing a club in north, roughing a diamond in south. This is a competing type of hand because usually when we have shortness in a side suit and some short trumps, we'll take our roughs early. We also have a nice side suit, which usually means that we should draw trumps. So we have a couple of ways to go, but we can't get rid of these clubs in our hand by playing spades.
Let's also think about what the shape is on this particular hand.
Yeah.
If East has a stiff spade, which it looks like, then maybe
I don't know if it looks like it because they did bid a no trump, didn't they? It went a diamond pass a no trump on this hand.
I mean, it doesn't promise a balance.
They could just have what I'm saying is if they're short spades, they have long clubs, right? They're the hand that has long clubs.
Exactly. I mean, alternatively, they could have started with Jack 10 third of spades and West is roughing.
Sure. Or Jack 1 and it's just like 2-2. But
I think we're just coming to the idea that if the next spade is roughed, we are hoping that it gets roughed in the hand with long hearts. And we're not really worried about them roughing a spade, crossing in a different entry and roughing another spade. You have all of the suits under control. You don't have to lose the next trick.
Yeah.
So
we can always win the return, basically.
Exactly. So I think you have one of 2 options. You can play the next high spade and hope it lives or hope it gets roughed with the long heart hand, or you can just play a low heart to the jack. I think either of these are reasonable choices. I would not play the ace of clubs because we do not intend on cross roughing the hand.
We could rough some clubs in the shorthand and then lead a spade and try it that way. We could play ace of clubs, rough a club, spade now, and maybe.
But then you would be shortening both hands if they play a diamond.
And now they can tap diamonds.
And now you no longer have trump control. So I want to keep trump control as long as possible, which makes me want to just play the high spade. To be honest.
The high spade or the heart?
The high spade. I want to play a high spade and hope they rough.
Okay, good. So now we know righty did in fact have a stiff spade, and now we hope they roughed with the length there.
Right.
So what are we doing here on them?
Well, I mean, we created a bad situation by not unblocking the spades.
We can pitch.
But so what did they rough with? What did they rough with?
The 3 of hearts.
The 3 of hearts.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Okay, so now the danger is if we play a heart, and even if they go heart, heart, and another diamond rough, I think we're okay. So I would probably just play a heart. I mean, you could also, I would just play a heart.
No, and now they did rough in the long hand. Unfortunately, they got 2 roughs in the long hand. So,
but that's not enough to beat the contract.
Well, we're done. Basically, the hand's over.
We're done. The hand is over.
We've made the contract, and we've drawn trump in a weird but quite effective way, where now we get to take our club roughs in the end, and we have good spades as well. So all is
Exactly.
well in the world. We'll go plus
So you
170.
guys remember, cross roughing is a
Oh,
good
sorry.
idea, but you have to be able to count up to the number of tricks you need, unless you're just in a totally hopeless contract and you're trying to cash as many tricks as possible.
We have to draw one more round of Trump, I think, actually, right?
Yeah, just play the
Yeah,
high
for
heart.
some reason it's not letting me claim. Is that it wants me to draw Trump? Or we have another loser here? Did we miss something on him?
No, just play spades.
Oh, I see. I'm sorry, I claimed the wrong number of tricks as my last spot here for sure. All right, we'll take it. 9 tricks. Okay, we bumped up to sixth, even with all my disasters, guys. This is excellent stuff for the very
Thank
end
you,
here.
Diane.
We looks like 96.4 for that one. So the auction and the actual play got us the best result there. Looks like we needed some super extra good results to get up to 65% there. Number 3 could have been a difference for us. That was a 0 to a 60. Apologies for that. This was a good one though on them. Some weird stuff that went on outside of my insanity, but good hands here, a little bit better than maybe the challenge last night for us. And we will say to Gavin that we performed okay. Right, we did well. Onum was clearly better than Rob today, and
Well,
I'm
I think, we had a lot of good take-home lessons today.
and
Just a good
honestly,
reminder to functional train, like you have to count every hand,
yep, even
try
if
and
you
make your
don't think
contract,
you're
try and
getting
get
it
up
right,
there.
you have to count every
Exactly.
hand.
Sometimes you have to, count and be a little bit desperate to find the right place.
Yeah, and honestly, I have to say the chat, even though you guys were piling on me all day, was great today. You guys were all over it. Lots of good bids and lots of just honestly fun and distracting comments. So I'm gonna blame some of the audience for my misclicks because the chat was so entertaining today on them. So I'm gonna try not to look at the
We
chat.
need
I
to
think
give Rob either control of the chat or
we need to
control of the
keep Rob just focused on clicking correctly. Kathleen, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And guys, thanks again for joining live. If you're not watching this live, again, Wednesday mornings, 10:15, you'll see Gavin usually in front of me on Wednesday mornings.
You guys can see me every Tuesday night.
Yeah, Tuesday night, 7:30, the challenge with Onum and I against other world-class pros. Onum and I are crushing that event. So maybe we won't complete this one. We can keep our record completely intact. So, guys, thank you so much. Again, this Wednesday, which is today, May 26th, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Time, is my signature live quiz class on bridgelesson.com. And my mouse skills are perfect for that on them. I can't make mistakes in that class, so that is out.
Is there anything interesting happening this Friday? Yes, there is. Now
Ooh.
that you ask, they Rob and Gavin are going to run a modern age sort of commentary on top level bridge. They're
Yeah.
going to try and like engage it in such a way that the newer and intermediate players can really like do a lot of fact finding and a lot of like understanding about what people are thinking at various points in the hand.
Yeah.
So it's basically a good way to learn how to think. Even if you don't necessarily come up with the right answer based on what you know, how to think is very important in bridge.
Absolutely.
Like you don't want to randomly come up with the right answer on a particular hand. If you learn how to think, you will come up with right answers most of the time.
Yeah, and the worst thing a bridge teacher or someone that's trying to help out, the worst thing that you can do is give someone an answer. The best thing you can do is give someone what you're thinking about and why. Right? That the biggest pieces of information, and the reason the pros are as good as they are is they're not necessarily thinking about, hey, this is right. They're thinking about, hey, why is this right? What do I
Right. They
know,
have
and how
a
do I come to a
foundation
decision?
of logic that applies to all of bridge.
Yes, absolutely. And that's what we try
In,
to do in these events too, guys. We're trying to give you our
um,
thought process.
right. You can access the event via Bridge Winners and probably also Bridge Base.
Yeah, and
Um,
bridgelesson.com will have a link to it as well.
right. I'm sure they'll update us as the week progresses. Just keep
Well,
checking the
Gavin
website.
is in charge of this, so I will full disclosure when he knows he will send everything out and hopefully give us the information as well. But yeah, it's going to be just like a highlight show, just kind of what you're seeing here, except instead of watching the robots, we're watching world class players play. and we will get to talk to them about their
And
decisions
I'm
as
just
well, which
gonna
is
give you
awesome.
guys a warning. Just because they're not robots doesn't mean they won't make weird
Yeah,
bids.
exactly.
Okay.
Exactly. Yeah. The human beings, as I've proven again and again this morning, human beings can make mistakes, even human beings that maybe play good bridge once in a while. Right.
Right.
So
As much as I joke about the robots being a little bit random, people are the most random.
that's why I tell people the robots on Bridge Base are a realistic representation of real bridge, right? They're going to make weird bids. They're definitely going to make some mistakes. The good thing is that when you make your mistakes, they're not all over you about it. So it's great. Thank you so much once again.
Thanks for having me. It's
I
been
promise I
fun.
will play better on Tuesday night. We did okay so far. Got back to some level of respectability, and we will just see you next week on them. Go back to bed. Enjoy the rest of your day out west.
It's time to go walk the doggies.
Okay. Well, enjoy that, and we'll see you next week. And guys, thanks a lot for joining. We'll see you again real soon. Take care.
Have a good one. Bye.